Hey everyone, it's Nicole. Welcome back to my channel, Relax.Cut.Glue. If you're new here, welcome. I'm so happy to have you all here with me today. So today I am working in my doodle glue book. I guess that's what I'm going to call this because I doodled on all the pages. Well, I'm not done with the book yet, but that's what I did. I made my own reverse coloring book by just adding some watercolor pictures and then scanning them, printing them, and then doodling on top of them, just some abstract art. And it is so relaxing and so incredibly fun. I've been buying the Kendra Norton books that she has some reverse coloring books, and I've shared them with you guys. And then I also have my same pages that I'm using in this book in my Ko-fi shop. You can purchase them, download them, and print them at home and make your own book that's just like mine. So I've had this image forever, and I'm really excited to use it. I don't know. It reminds me of, I guess, mental health awareness. I found this image, and I cut out what was in the middle of her face there. And I guess for me, I feel like the inside of the face right there is like my brain on anxiety. That's kind of what I was going here. I'm a huge advocate for mental health and mental health awareness, and we all know that I have an anxiety disorder that affects my daily living, and I work very hard on not having it affect my life day in and day out. And it's taken me till I'm in my 40s to finally start using some tools to help me. So anyways, we're not here for a mental health lecture. I just want to show you or tell you why I was doing what I was doing with this image here. And I originally was going to like scribble on some paper and then put it behind the face, kind of like that's what my brain feels like. But then that's the page I did yesterday. I came in here for just a couple minutes to calm down. I was having a really rough day yesterday. And so I decided to just glue a page. And you guys, I cannot help it, but I feel so incredibly guilty when I craft and don't record it. That's what I used to not be that way. And I've gotten that way now where it's not even fun sometimes for me because I feel so guilty. I had someone leave me a comment one time about how hard is it for you to just turn on the camera? And I've talked about this before. It's so dumb, but that resonated with me and I can't let it go. And it's been like 2 years, and it was a really rude comment and totally out of line, because I deserve to have my own time as well. But that's what life with an anxiety disorder is like. Like, I can't let it go. So I try really hard to kind of force myself sometimes. And yesterday I was having a rough day, and I'm like, I'm going in my craft room and I am going to create something. And that's what I created. It wasn't much, but that's what I did. And then I decided to draw for a little bit, and then it didn't turn out right. And I was like, you know what? Stop forcing yourself to do stuff. You know what I mean? Like, just rest or do nothing, because nothing, you know what I mean? Like, give yourself that privilege. So that's what I did. Yesterday was the 4th of July. We had a good day. It was a very laid back, lazy day because it's very hot here. Today is supposed to be almost 100. Yesterday was 93, 95, I think it ended up getting. So it's been toasty. So we spent most of the day inside because it was so hot. And I made the best fruit salad ever. I showed a picture to the glue crew. So I had cherries, raspberries, blackberries, strawberries, mango, tangerine, and nectarine, all in this fruit salad, all fresh fruit, and it was to die for. So ever since Bob had his surgery, he had a surgery on his colon, if you're new to my channel, a couple months ago, a very extensive surgery that he's still recovering from, but doing amazing. And just as I suspected, it's been a life-altering surgery for him. For the first time in decades, he is able to have fiber and actually need fiber and enjoys it. So in the past, he's basically, when he's been hospitalized in emergency situations, it's happened a couple times, like life-threatening situations, he's on like a no fiber diet because of the issues that he has. And now he enjoys having fruit every day, and it's it's so amazing because we love fruit in this house. So anyways, yeah, so for dinner I've been either like cutting up a little watermelon and we all have some, or I'm making little fruit cups, usually not with that much fruit in it, but we it was 4th of July and I've been really wanting to make like a big fruit salad. Oh my gosh, you guys, it was so good. So good. And it looked beautiful. It was so pretty. Yeah. So I sent a picture to my mom and my sister, and my mom's like, I could eat that every day. And I'm like, I know. We're just big fruit people. So yeah, it was really good. And then we had a couple steaks left over from Bob's birthday, my husband, which was 2 days ago. And so the boys, they grilled those up and then chopped it up and made steak quesadillas, which were amazing. Andrew made homemade flour tortillas, and they were the best ones he's ever made. They're so good. I cannot eat a store-bought tortilla ever again. It is not the same in any way, shape, or form. He normally makes corn tortillas, but every once in a while he'll make flour, and oh my gosh, they are so good. He did a great job. He spent like 2 hours making tortillas, like one batch. It takes forever. But yeah, he was really proud of himself, and that made me happy because his turned out like perfectly round, which not perfectly round, but if you're making a homemade tortilla, it was close to perfect. It's hard to get them totally round when you're rolling out a flour tortilla, but he did so good. And yeah, I love seeing my kids happy and proud of what they've done, especially when they can be hard on themselves for things. So anyways, the tortillas were amazing. We have some left over, so I'm going to have him make me a steak tortilla for lunch, or a steak quesadilla for lunch. It was really good. Bob had a great birthday over the weekend. We just had a really great couple of days. Yesterday was kind of off. You know, Sherman doesn't really care about fireworks. Sometimes he'll bark at them because he's like, what's that noise? But it doesn't like scare him. He doesn't shake or anything like that. Xena, however, hates loud noises. She's always hated them. She has impeccable hearing. And when we first got her, she was just a spaz when it came to noise. But because we're a family of 4 and somebody's always home, she's used to having a lot of noise now. And not that we're loud people, we're actually very quiet people, but you know what I mean. And so anyways, fireworks are just not her thing at all. She was absolutely freaking terrified. And for the first time ever, I actually hate fireworks. So I'm exhausted. I'm so tired. We did give her some medication. It just didn't really help. She was just so scared. But anyway, so yesterday we have AC, but we also turned on a bunch of fans. We kind of turned the TV up. In our bedroom, we have our air purifier going, which is pretty loud. It's kind of like a fan. And then we turned on a fan, and then we put on they actually have, if you go on YouTube or any kind of app that does this, they have music specifically for dogs during fireworks, or calming music for dogs. I looked it up to see like what's most calming for dogs, because I was going to put on like the ocean sounds or rain or whatever. So Bob put one on in there. We have an ALEXA. And so we put that on. So it was very dark. We had lots of kind of noise going on. And she did okay. But in our neighborhood, we have a lot of people who light off very illegal fireworks. They sound like bombs, like our house shakes. It's insane. Absolutely insane. And I don't mind them for me. Like, I could care less, but when it terrifies your dog like that, oh my gosh, you guys, it's so sad to see an animal like freak out. But she is part whippet, so she gets, shaky and stuff like that. But she actually laid on my bed with me. She wanted to be cuddled, and so I did that for her. So I was up with her because I didn't want her to be alone and feeling scared, because that's not fun. Who wants to be alone when you're scared? She's doing great today. She's in a great mood. Ate some breakfast, just trotting around, having a good old time. So she's doing a lot better today, thank goodness. I do think all the precautions that we took with the sound machines and the fans and that kind of stuff, it did help, because she was a lot better until it got really late at night and the like bombs were going off and stuff. That's when she had a problem. Like fireworks that people are doing in their front, you know, like in the street or whatever, like regular family fireworks, whatever, that doesn't really bother her so much. I mean, it does, but those sounds were drowned out by the noises we had in our house. It's the big stuff. All righty. What are we doing now? So I'm just kind of having fun. I put a bunch of images there. You can see on the side. I do that all the time just so I have stuff to kind of audition on the pages. It kind of gets your brain figuring out what you want. So on this page, I had a lot of white space left over. I'm not done doodling in this book. So some of the pages I just kind of started and didn't finish. This one's fully outlined. Like I outlined all my blobs and added all that kind of stuff. But I didn't do anything else. So I'm just adding some little kind of like little tick marks on here just to add a little something of a border around this. And then I'll put the girl back down and see how that looks. I absolutely love like art journal type backgrounds and stuff. It's so fun. Everything looks so cool and it just pops. I just really love it. I'm definitely going to do this again. I'm having a lot of fun. And then if you buy one of Kendra Norton's books, you could always turn those pages when you're done doodling on them and stuff, turn those into a glue book. That would be fun. So I wasn't sure if I was going to add words to this, and I was just kind of playing around, and I had this thing that says some kind of gardener. I don't know why I have that. It doesn't fit with anything. I'm hoping someday that I find a page where it just works. I like how I put "you are not alone" on that page. That's just for me is such a mental health page. I don't know. It screams mental health awareness for me. So if you're struggling with mental health or anxiety disorder or any other kind of disorder, and this page is for you. You are not alone. It's a reminder to myself as well. So I'm gluing the full page. Remember, we talked about in my video the other day, it's really important to go over your page several times and look and see if there's any dry spots. I always go around my edges, then I kind of glue in the middle section, and then I will go around my edges again just to really make sure that the edges are fully sticking down so they don't lift. And then you can tell when you're looking at your page if there's some glossy spots or some matte spots. If you see any matte areas, you need to go over it with glue one more time. So yeah, I go over my page quite a few times there. And if there's any chunks of glue, I try and smooth those out before I put my image down. But then afterwards, I go through with either one of my scraper tools or my washcloth. And by doing that, I'm really pushing the image down to the page, getting any air out of there, which will cause a bubble later when the glue dries. And then I'm also spreading that glue out throughout the page and really making it sticky. So this page is not going to come up because if you just glue something down, there's air in there, and if you don't press it down. So if you're having problems with things lifting, definitely once you put your page down and you smooth it out, take a cloth or a washcloth. I love to use baby washcloths because one, they're inexpensive. I get them at the Dollar Tree in a pack of like 3 or 5 or something. But I like that they're small and thin. I don't need like a big bulky piece of fabric to smooth over my glue book images. So I really, really, really like baby washcloths for that. So I like a lot of things on this page. This is another page that's in my Ko-fi shop. It was a painting paper that I doodled over. You can purchase it and then download it at home. I have quite a few people that have done some art in my Facebook group. Lynn, especially. Lynn is in there. She does a lot of artist trading cards. Everybody loves her artist trading cards. They are amazing. And she uses a lot of my She purchased a bunch of my painting papers and has been using them for backdrops, and they look really cool. I mean, not to toot my own horn, I just think that any painting paper looks really good in a background. I'm not saying just mine. I'm saying like I really like the way that looks. I like the pops of color and stuff. And if you're in my Facebook group, you definitely know who Lynn is because everybody loves her artist trading cards. Don't they, Lynn? Oh, man. I love her. All right. So I'm finally gluing that down. I've been talking about it forever. My little swearing quote. It says, what does it say? I can't even read it through my viewfinder. Let me find it. Swearing, because sometimes gosh darn and meanie just don't cut it. Isn't that the truth? And you know what? Yes, I added a random fish there. It was sitting on my table. I felt like I needed something else on the page, so I added a random fish. I did. I sure did. You guys know I'm a very matchy person, but when it comes to glue books, I really like to I like to make the page weird, interesting, not always matchy. I do a lot of that. I fully admit, but there's two sides to me. I'm either making it all kind of like a scene, make it all go together, and then I have just random pages as well. I just go with the flow when I'm gluing. This was really bothering me. I wanted to add something else and I just couldn't. I saw Study Buddy and I thought, oh, I'll put a little dog down there. But then the dog was too big and nothing was working. So I was like, you know what? I'll just leave it and do something a different day when I find something that wants to be there. I've really learned not to push myself to finish a page. If I can't find anything that I like, I move on and I come back to it. And it's weird because you'll forget that you have that page, but you'll see something and you're like, oh yeah, that would look great on that page. It like triggers your memory. So anyways, I'll just leave it, come back to it another day. I really like that page too. That one's really fun. I love using those Spot the Difference books from Dollar Tree. I showed that just a little bit ago. Let me know, do you think that looks good there? I like it, but I'm not sure if I want to keep it. Like, I love it and I hate it at the same time. I don't know. What do you guys think? Should I glue that down? Let me know in the comments down below. All right. So now that little side right there was really bothering me. So I decided to cut up this quote and add that on there. And now I feel much better. This is what I mean by let it go, turn a page, do something else. And then, you know, your brain just kind of figures it out eventually. I don't know. That's what I did here. I walked away from it and came back. All right, guys, that's going to conclude today's video. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to watch my video. I really appreciate it. Thank you to everybody who's been buying my painting papers off my Ko-fi page. I appreciate your support so much, and I hope you're having a blast using those papers. If you wouldn't mind, hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. All the cool kids are doing it. Don't forget to drink your water. Have a fabulous day, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye, friends.